following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Steve Dennis.
Oh, welcome, everybody. Welcome, one and all, to Media Mash on this Thursday. So excited to be here. It is such a big week for the Dallas Cowboys. I have a quick question, but first, John Machota, right here from The Athletic, and his podcast, About Them Boys. Nick Eatman, Management.
I got a podcast, too.
And a podcast.
Used to be on it.
That's right. The
Cowboys
break. The break.
Yeah.
Every day right here on DallasCowboys.com. All Cowboys media Nick's in charge of or partially in charge of and controlling and on it and all of that. And here's Jory Epstein. She's a big famous author.
Yeah.
But no podcast. This is all I've got.
This counts.
All I've got.
This counts. Author, writes for USA Today, and this podcast. My first question is we get hopping because we got a lot to do, and we're going to rely on you guys for an update or two in a second. But first, I'm just curious. This game, Chiefs, Cowboys, is it their biggest regular season game? Or was that the opener already with Brady and the boys? Or might it be Arizona at AT&T Stadium later?
Oh, I don't even think that one separates it from the other. I think that they all could be. And the only reason I'm saying Kansas City is even in there is because of how they've played recently. If they hadn't been playing like this recently, I would say no, they're not, and I'd go back to the opener. But I don't think that you can separate any because I think it'll be quick for a lot of people to say Arizona because Kyler's not playing right now. Let Kyler and DeAndre Hopkins get back in there and start clicking again, and that's going to be just as tough as this game. So any one of those three, if I absolutely had to pick one of them, I'm still going week one, Tom Brady, the GOAT. They're getting their Super Bowl rings in Tampa. That's the measuring stick right there. That's a team you're probably going to see again in the playoffs.
Well, and they did a great job, even though they lost the game. But we learned a lot from that game. We said, well, you know what? If they didn't win this game, but they're going to win a lot of others if they play like that. And that's true. They did win a lot of other games because we know Tom Brady and Tampa Bay is really good, and we know that they're going to be a great team, and I think that they are. And then the Cowboys showed that that they're right there with them, and a call or two here could have won that game. So and it'd be one thing if to say, "Oh, moral victory," but they used the morale, and turned it into something.
Yeah, I'll play devil's advocate and say I think this is their biggest game. I think that it's in part because of where it is in the season. I think that the Cardinals game being at home takes it a little bit of a step down for me. I want to know that this team, if they're going to go far in the postseason, can play an uncommon opponent in a hostile environment when they're playing well and rise to the occasion. And I think that's what this game provides. So certainly week one was big, but I think the timing of the season, we didn't know what we had on either team yet. And so much happens in week one and so many crazy things that I think this is what you want to be, and this is what you need to be if you want to go far in the postseason.
Well, hold on real quick. Nothing in this game, though, for me personally, will change the way I feel about this team. They can get blown out or they can blow out Kansas City. Won't change it. Week one, for me, was like, let me see what Dak can do. First series, they're going empty, right with him in the end zone against Tom Brady, against that team. What they showed in that game, to me, is more than anything they'll show. Because if they blow out Kansas City in this game, I'm going to look back at their that tough game against the Giants, 20-17, that barely beating Packers with Jordan Love. Like, we might not know that Kansas City's for real or not. If they blow them out, that's going to be the national perception is that, Kansas City just wasn't for real.
They're 6-5. They suck. That's what they're going to say. I don't know, though. I mean, you put a 43-3 type of game on them. Like, it's one thing to say with Atlanta, but, he said he's not going to change his opinion if they blow out the Chiefs. I think I might change mine a little bit.
Well, I'm going to say this.
I might be like, I can't do that in February.
I'm
busy.
This game to me is sexier. It's just, Mahomes, Dak playing. When Dak started the season, we weren't even sure where he was going to be, and Brady, Dak. Although it sounded nice, it's not like this. This is Mahomes and Dak. This is a heavyweight title bout right here. Quarterback against quarterback.
Why wasn't week one that?
Because Dak hadn't played in 11 months.
You weren't for sure on Dak. So Dak is what's converted you over.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Dak is the incredible thing about Dak Prescott. He was awesome as a rookie. but he has improved every step of the way.
He was an awesome rookie.
He was an awesome rookie. Yeah.
I don't think he was awesome as a rookie. I think he was an awesome rookie. He won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And him and Zeke, I mean, that's just hard to say how great it was. But he still had holes in his game, and he still, he probably says he still does. But, accuracy wasn't always there. He didn't make, I don't think he made all the throws. He's making the throws
There's no
now.
question. It kind of annoys me, some of the fans on Twitter that act like, we knew that Dak was going to be this guy the whole time. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Nobody did.
He's
Nobody
considerably better. He's considerably more accurate. One of the things that I'll always go back to, 2016, I think you were there. We're in Tampa, or no, it was Orlando for the Pro Bowl, and obviously the Cowboys had a ton of guys there. There were all kinds of throwing things that were going on with Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees, stuff off to the side. It was not even in the same class. We watched practices his rookie year where it was constantly, was he better than Jamil Showers? None of that stuff's even in the conversation now. There's no question he's gotten significantly better.
I'll say this, though. The fact that Tony Romo couldn't get his job back is still the most amazing thing I have ever witnessed in my career.
Football is a meritocracy.
Yeah. He could not. 5 years ago today is when he said that.
Really?
5 years ago today. He couldn't.
Which I will always believe was a shot.
He couldn't get his job back. Tony Romo. I mean, but that's just shows you what how he started. But anyway, we're going to get more into this. I want to have a little fun with this real quick because this matchup to me is so sexy. I like the fun of it. Now, I don't think Arizona may mean more later with Murray and Dak going at it. May be the game for the bye. Who knows? But this one, because of Mahomes, he's from here. He's a Cowboys fan.
Well, Kyler's from here, so don't use that as your
that's true. He's even more from here than Mahomes is.
He's from here.
But I want to play a little game of offense or defense, and I want to do it for both teams. I just love paying attention what all you guys are putting out there in a Cowboys week. Machota, for example, early in the week, his work. What was your headline? It's not just the offense; it's the defense too. And you did a comparison after 9 games from last year to this year, and the difference in the defense. And we all know that Quinn got the game ball for what he did, and the defense was awesome. Todd Archer tweets, Cowboys lead NFL in points and yards per game. Last time that happened this late in the season was weeks 10 and 12 in 95. The last time they won a Super Bowl. The offense, 43 points, completely dominant. The defense is doing its thing under Dan Quinn. Kansas City, kind of the same thing. Their defense has been awful last 3 games, and you can talk about no Rodgers in the second one, and they play the Giants in the first one, but it's getting better. So here's my game. A little game of offense or defense for both teams. In this matchup, start with that. For Dallas, are you putting the result more on the offense or the defense in Arrowhead? Jory.
Okay, so I actually will say the defense because I think that the offense has the star power, but the defense has to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes to go along with the offense. But then on the other hand, I kind of think the defense feeds off the offense. So I think it comes down to the defense, but the offense has to get them started. Is that a cop-out of an answer?
No, I like it.
I'll say the offense. I just feel like that their offense is the best offense in the NFL, and so yes, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, all that stuff. You have to be worried about it, but they go up there and do their thing, and with this offensive firepower, it'll be Mahomes and them having to play catch up, and then it goes back to the defense. You need to play complementary football, but I think it's the offense that goes up there and says we're better than you. You can stop us. You won't stop us as many times as we'll stop you.
Their secondary is not very good if you take away the Honey Badger. Just not very good.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go offense too, but it's just because I think it's the offense in the NFL in general. That's the reason why Tennessee is not going to go to the Super Bowl, like some people might think. It's going to come down to the offenses for all these teams. And these are 2 of the best offenses in the league. So whether you want to talk about on Sunday, what do you want to talk about in the playoffs, neither of these teams or whoever wins it is not going to be because of their defense. It's going to be the best offense that wins it, whether it's the NFC, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's this Sunday. It'll come down to the offense for all these teams.
All right, these 2 teams are a little similar. I think the Cowboys' defense has proven to be much more formidable than Kansas City's at this point. But they both have a great quarterback, and they have weapons offensively, and the defense was the question mark coming in for both teams. Same answer for Kansas City. You already said yes. Same answer if you're a Chiefs fan and you're going to put it on one or the other to beat the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, I think if you're going to play that, I mean, I have to say the Kansas City defense if I'm going to say it for the Cowboys offense, because I feel like the Cowboys offense, when they're clicking, I think they're better than the Chiefs offense. That doesn't mean that, you have, their guys are in more commercials. I get it, but I'm just saying I think that the Cowboys have more weapons from top to bottom, so their offense will be better. That being said, the Chiefs, their defense better step up and make some stops.
Is anybody but Dak in a commercial for the Cowboys offense? I
don't know.
Anybody?
No.
Although you can't watch an NFL broadcast without seeing Dak.
I don't know. I
Sleep
feel like
number,
Mahomes is in a few.
Well, he is for them.
Rodgers is in fewer these days, so State Farm commercials.
Well, I
seem
don't
to be
think
less
Tyreek
so
Hill.
If Patrick Mahomes was the coach of the,
Tyreek may do local car commercials or something.
I think, yeah.
If Patrick Mahomes was the quarterback of like the Cowboys or the Steelers or the Packers, it would be out of control. I mean, he's taken a Kansas City Chiefs position to another level because of who he is.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the Kansas City side of it? Same thing? Do you think it's offense or defense for them to beat the Cowboys? Which one needs to be more the story for them?
Offense.
Okay, now let's go bigger.
You really don't think, Nick, that this couldn't just come down to a straight 45-40 game, that the Kansas City Chiefs offense just couldn't outscore them? It comes down to like the last possession, Mahomes has it and they win. I think the defense could really be inconsequential for both teams.
Well, I mean, right. I just feel like if I'm going to sit and answer a question about that, I think the Cowboys' offense is the most important thing because I think that they're better. Then I think I'd have to answer. To me, I think you have to answer Kansas City's defense.
Right, and
that doesn't make sense to me to say it's.
I just don't think either matter, and I do think it comes down to the last possession. I think it's going to be just like Week 1.
John,
somebody's going to get a stop.
John, you're the type of person who they make those rules protecting the quarterback for.
Hold on.
Yeah, well, that's because I am the guy that watches all these stupid games, whether they're good or bad, because it's entertainment. That's why they're making the rules this way.
2013 Cowboys-Broncos. Do you remember that game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
51-48, back and forth.
Yeah, somebody threw the ball to the other team.
You're right. The defense actually made a play.
Did they make the play, or did that guy throw the ball to the other team?
No.
Did he make a play?
He made a play.
Defense.
He made a play. I mean, Tony didn't have a great throw, but I mean, is it Trevathan or whatever his name was? He made a diving interception, made the play. They won the game. At some point, somebody's got to make a defensive play.
Sure.
I've seen enough overtime.
Or maybe it's just your offense makes a mistake.
All right. Well, I'm going to make this comment though. That was one of my least favorite games I ever watched the Cowboys play.
Really?
And I'm going to say in this game, if you're right, and that's where I'm going next. But before I go there, you had a comment.
I just wanted a quick non sequitur on the defense getting thrown the ball. When I was in college, I played on an intramural team that won the championship. Not because of me at all. I was relegated to defensive back and defensive back only. And then we go to play Texas A&M intramural champions. And on the first drive of the game, the A&M quarterback threw me the ball. Like, I'm telling you, I did nothing to make this interception. I'd done nothing all season, and the ball was just in my hands. I didn't even know what to do.
Did it just stick on your neck or something?
It was just but like I was right in front of the quarterback, just threw me the ball.
You got any video of this?
We won 24-0.
No, I knew where you're going.
Good thing you're not still hanging on to that. But speaking of 24, Larry Brown actually won a Super Bowl MVP because Neil O'Donnell just threw it to him twice.
Right. So is that on Larry or is that on Neil?
It was on Neil.
Right, 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Neil was awful.
Neil was awful. The Cowboys' interceptions last week, all three of them were better than most receivers can catch. All three of those were really good.
Well, this is a better question than just this game. Now, for both teams, start with Dallas. If they are going to win the Super Bowl, see, though that Cowboys-Denver team, neither one of them did anything. That was Peyton's first year, right?
I can't remember.
I think it was. I'm not sure. Kansas City won a Super Bowl 2 years ago with a mediocre defense. I'll give you that. But
that's the blueprint for this Cowboys team.
Right, but I'm not sure you're seeing a lot of Super Bowls won by those teams that play no defense. And if the Cowboys are going to be legitimate, aren't we thinking their defense needs to be like what we're seeing now, and Kansas City's needs to step it up a little bit, and we're seeing that now. So for the Cowboys to be a Super Bowl winning team. Of course, it'll be more about the offense because they're a dominant offense, but the defense has to have a hand in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think last year was a great example of the NFC Championship game, I believe it was, where Tom Brady really played awful, and that Tampa Bay defense helped carry them to beat the Packers. So, yeah, and you got 4 playoff games. Wouldn't it be? Or am I...
3. Could be 3.
Could be 3.
I think that they'll need them big time for one of those games. But even in those games, I still think the offense has to be big. As they're constructed right now, if they weren't getting back Tank Lawrence or Randy or Neville Gallimore, I would say there's not even going to be them in one of them. But if getting those guys back, to win the Super Bowl, I could see them one game where it's like the defense completely steps up and carries them in the game.
Yeah, well, that's a good point because go back and look at the schedule now. Look at every 4 games. I mean, to start the season. I mean, the defense. I think the defense won the game against the Chargers. They only gave up 17 points in that game, And then there's other games. Minnesota, they hung in there with the Vikings long enough for Cooper to figure it out and enough to score. But I mean, the defense I think helped them win those games. So you're right. I mean, every few games you got to have a team to win a Super Bowl. You got to do something great, and I think what the Cowboys do will be their offense. But every once in a while, like you said, you're going to have to lean on your defense. Got to be good enough to help you on those days. Think about when you go and you play Green Bay and it's going to be blizzard weather or whatever like that. It'll say it's up there or anything where weather's a factor. You got to be able to lean on something else.
Or if your offense fails you, like it did the Chiefs against Tampa because their offensive line was horrible, you need your defense to do something against Brady at that point of the season. And it was just too easy for Brady.
Yeah, I think the offensive line is Dak's best friend and Zeke's best friend, but a dominant offensive line is also this defense's best friend because the more they can continue to bleed the clock and keep the chains going, and we talked to Zeke about this yesterday, keeping the defense fresh and off the field. This defense isn't built to play 70 plays or whatever it is. They need to be getting those spurts, and then as long as they cannot allow too many explosive plays, but you can expect a few, maybe get a takeaway here or there, then that'll be enough. But the offense has to give them that.
Slowly, if you look at it, and I've always loved my whole life, I don't know why I love it in the game notes where they just do the comparison with the teams.
Oh, yeah.
And they rank them and all. I've always loved that little part of the and if you look at this, and I think it tells a story, the Cowboys defense is very slowly becoming pretty good. And you compare it to Kansas City's. Kansas City scoring, they're 22nd. Total defense, they're 26th. Rushing defense, they're 18th. Passing defense, they're 23rd. Cowboys go 10th, 15th, 19th, and 21st. And they're slowly, 9th, not 19th. 9th in rushing defense at 101-2. But does this scare you guys at all? For them, in their last 3 games, 7 of 33 on third down conversion. Their defensive held them 7 of 33. Now, it was the Giants.
2 of the last 3 games, the Cowboys held them to 1 of 13 and 1 of 11.
You're talking about the
Chiefs,
but
right?
Denver was in the middle, and
right. But I'm saying the Cowboys have had games where they're showing that too.
Yes, but I mean, Kansas City doesn't have this. This is not them. And all of a sudden, now Rodgers didn't play in the second game, and they beat Green Bay 13-7. But the Vegas game, I mean, they were 1 of 9 on third down. Vegas is pretty good, and that was in their place.
Yeah.
And a big TV game, and all of a sudden, the Chiefs' defense may have a little something going. Do you believe that or not?
I always believed that, regardless of what was happening with Mahomes and the Chiefs, I always just thought they would figure it out by November 21st at about 2:45 p.m. That's why I just feel like it's going to work for them. They are going to bring their game.
I agree.
They're built for games like this. This is what they do. This is what Andy Reid does. This is what Mahomes does. They and the Chiefs Nation, they are bringing it. This game, I'm not saying they're Super Bowl because they've been in the last 2. But when it comes to, this game matters way more to them, unfortunately, than it does to the Cowboys. Well, just think about what a loss looks like on the standings, 6-5.
Right. And Chris Jones can play. Frank Clark can play. Anthony Hitchens. I remember my first interview with Anthony.
He can't play?
Wonderful guy.
He didn't get
He can play.
Oh, okay.
Obviously
Sorensen?
Matthew can play. All right. But I agree with you. I agree with you that the offense fuels the defense on this Cowboys team, and I think we saw that against Atlanta. I mean, when Pitts comes out, you're thinking, how are they going to guard this guy today? And then the offense all of a sudden gets rolling and the defense kind of gets caught up in it a bit, I think. I don't think it works the other way. I don't know if there's been a game that the defense sparked the offense. Against Denver, the Cowboys' offense was horrible, and the defense wasn't any good.
No, it was for the first couple series, and then the offense didn't do anything, and the defense kind of followed suit.
Yeah, I just think Dak is the answer to everything. But speaking of that, let's go talk about Dak and Mahomes in our next segment. And the question is there a chance Dak is better than Mahomes? That's next on Media Mash.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Back to Media Mash.
Glad you're with us on Media Mash this Thursday. What a big game. Chiefs and Cowboys in Arrowhead. We're not going to talk about travel because I heard it's not very good.
It's fine.
Trying to get to the game. Man, that's weird all of a sudden. That flights to Kansas City are
it's bad.
Out of this world. Man, that's a shame. A lot of fans probably had plans to go to this game, and maybe they decided they couldn't because of the cost, but I hope that's not the case. We're going to talk about Dak and Mahomes, but real quick, I forgot to do this off the top because I think it's important. You guys are out there. Can we get a Tyrant update from you three? Just real quick, a Tyrant update. How's he look? What do you think for Sunday? All of that.
Yeah, we talked to Mike McCarthy this morning, who confirmed that Tyrant did make it okay through the more limited practice yesterday. The Cowboys weren't doing a whole lot. Today they had their padded practice. When we got out there at the beginning of stretching, Tyrant was outside doing what looked like some rehab work on the backside of the field, while the rest of the offensive line was indoors. I don't know if y'all saw more closely. It was a little tough to gauge exactly how he was participating, but the plan had been for him to go through individual drills.
HP. He's playing. That's what I think.
Is that a thing
That's
now?
What I think.
Is HP a thing now?
I was saying Highland Park.
Yeah.
Is they practicing at Highland Park? I missed that.
Hewlett Packard?
Computer, yeah, which is probably not a sponsor, so I didn't say that. But, yeah, HP stands for he's playing.
Yeah, I agree, too. I don't think he'd even be out there doing individuals like right now if it wasn't for that.
Didn't Mark McCarthy make some point that he wants to see him through a full week of practice before he's going to throw him out there?
But he could throw him out there for that mock game on Saturday and count that as no, we saw enough. We're good.
All right.
And I think it's also the type of thing you start with Tyrant at left, at right, and you have Terrence there if you need be. And if Tyrant's ankle's bothering you, if you need to spell him a few series, I think that will be an option, and I think that's what they like about the experience they now have, that you really have continuity regardless of which one you're putting in.
And, I don't think that McCarthy, I don't think he said that. And if he did, I don't think that would be a good idea with Tyron Smith to say, you need to do this for a full week or whatever. There's only one guy on this roster that has actually played against the Chiefs in that game the last time they played up there, I think in 2013. It was Tyrant. I mean, no one else has been there. And I only say that to say that he's been around long enough, even though the offense has changed, he can just go out there and block your guy. Like, I think he can do it. I think he'll help the guy next to him, whoever's playing left guard, he'll help him.
HP. There you go. Nick says HP.
Now we know.
So we'll get past that. Dak's visit with you guys today. Anything you want to throw out there from that? Was there anything cute, funny, interesting?
He said, "I'm the best quarterback in the NFL," right?
Did he really?
But it would help your argument when
did he come right out?
If he did, that would probably.
Hey y'all! I'm the best damn quarterback.
I have a non-Chiefs specific definite favorite part of the press conference.
What?
Okay, with Dak.
Yes.
What was all? Say it again. You have a what?
Non-Chiefs specific favorite part of Dak's press conference.
Got it. Okay.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay, so we've been talking with some of the guys around here about Dak and Zeke's friendship and how it's grown over the few years. Perhaps there will be a USA Today story coming soon about the red kettle jump and that. But when asked about when Dak and Zeke became brothers, Dak told us that really from their rookie year. Okay, fine. We all knew that. And then he goes, Zeke didn't have a car. I had a car. And one of the times he left his $5 million signing bonus in Dak's truck. And Dak was like, this is more than I'm going to make in 4 years. Like, I thought he was joking when he was telling us. I'm like, wait, actually? And Dak's like, no, actually. So ever since Dak didn't steal Zeke's $5 million signing bonus, they've been the best of buds. And it translates on the field.
You know what I took from that is that that's just so Zeke.
Yeah. And so Dak.
To leave a $5 million check laying around. Hey, did anybody see that? Isn't that Zeke? Just kind of goofy.
Depends on if he signed it first or not.
Well, yeah.
Does anybody have direct deposit nowadays? Because $5 million, I'd probably want a direct deposit.
Yeah.
I can't say I've had to deposit
You wouldn't want it in a guy's...
That's what our invoice is going to be for, right?
Is that what it is?
Is that what it is, Beamer? Their invoice is $5 million?
Yeah.
Oh, ask Nick.
Yeah, send that up the chain and see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Manning cast this past week?
No, I don't watch
okay. Well, they had Phil Mickelson on, and so during the last segment, they had Eli swing a couple times and had Phil judge it, and he called his swing cute. And so when you said that, that's the first thing I thought of.
Oh, he said that's cute?
Yeah,
So,
he goes, oh, that's a cute little swing.
You ever get on like Twitter and just say like you have an opinion and you're like, I wonder if anyone else thinks this way.
Yeah.
And so when I was listening to Phil Mickelson, I was annoyed AF by it. Okay.
Really?
And when I got on Twitter, it was like, this is awesome.
Everyone's like, get him on all the time.
I was like, I'm just a bad person then.
Yeah. I thought he was good.
Hey, Nick, I felt the same way the first time the Mannings did it.
No, I love that.
But I felt the same way because it distracts from the game.
No, I love that.
If you don't care about the game, they're entertaining as hell.
You're missing my point. I love that.
Get your point.
I love that.
You just don't like Phil.
No, not really. But Phil had all these questions.
Right.
And it was just like him. He was just peppering them with questions.
Yeah.
And
I thought they were good questions, though.
I don't know. It got weird because they didn't know what to do. Eli was like, "Hey, Peyton, did you see shotgun?"
Because Eli's uncomfortable talking about OBJ. And if Phil doesn't ask that, they don't even talk about OBJ. Eli Manning, you worked with him. Yeah. And you could tell, like, Eli was, like, on the witness stand. Like, he did not look, I don't really know what happened in Cleveland or whatever. Peyton's great on that. Eli kind of, hems and haws, but I don't know if I should say this.
You guys like this better than the football game, for crying out loud.
Well, I don't know how anybody would watch that for the football game. Great. You watch it to get the
yeah, I don't watch the Monday night game anymore.
Oh, I do. See, the game's still important.
They also have some great guests. Like, what was it the week that
these
Brady
guys just distract from the game.
Well, the Michigan quarterback is terrible. But I'm sorry, he's terrible. I honestly don't.
He makes a lot of mistakes.
I don't think he understands some of the rules. I really don't. That Pittsburgh game the other day, that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
some of the things he was saying.
Yeah,
they're going to call a timeout here. No, they're not.
I can't remember what game it was when he was wondering why they were going for 2 points.
Why would you go for 2?
Yeah, what are they going for 2 for? Well, do you know what the score is, Brian?
They'd like to get up 3. That's what they would like to
You guys are all playing for second place because first place is clearly him saying, I don't know how this team is going to be able to win without Jalen Smith's leadership. Micah Parsons is a rookie. You need Jalen Smith's leadership. 2 weeks later, Jalen Smith's not even on the team.
Yeah, but national guys have been doing that for years.
Is everything okay since Jalen left?
Everything's been okay for him.
But he's really helped Green Bay.
Yeah. No, he's not there anymore.
I was kidding.
I know, but that's why I was just finishing it for
He's
you.
not on the team right now.
Out of the league.
But I can't believe you guys don't even watch the game on Monday night now. You're all about the Mannings?
Peyton Manning
You're
is
still
the best.
watching the game.
What you just said about on Twitter where you threw an opinion out there and then everybody else loves it, people go nuts for the Manning broadcast. And
I'm just Peyton.
I
would watch it if it was just Peyton by himself.
I watch it. I like it. I like that better than I don't.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me if you care about a football game and you've got guests over and they're yapping the whole time.
Yeah, but if your guest is Peyton Manning, I would gladly listen to him watching the game.
I'm trying to watch the game. I did that with a Bengals Super Bowl when I was a Bengals fan.
Mm-hmm.
Had the wife and I invited all kinds of friends over to watch the Super Bowl. The house is hopping, and I had to go upstairs and watch it in a bedroom because I wanted to watch the damn game. Yeah. Everybody's drinking and having a ball. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, well, if Peyton Manning was over your house, you would have been fine with him watching the game.
I don't need to hang out.
Peyton Manning and also the guests. I mean, who's turning them down? Who's like, nah, I don't think so.
I know they do get good guests.
I just don't need to listen to Steve Levy and Riddick. And I mean,
okay.
What about the thing on the Manning curse when they asked Mickelson about that?
Well, they crushed it. Draymond and the Warriors went to town on the net, so they ended that.
Do you watch Manning's or the game?
It kind of depends on the week.
How good the game is.
Well, also who the Mannings have on. Like a few weeks ago, it was like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Sue Bird.
So you check and see? You check your media guide to see who's on?
They had LeBron on for the Cowboy game. LeBron was over there doing a Romo.
See, if it's Atlanta, New England.
I'm running the ball here.
Like tonight, maybe I'd go to the Manning channel.
Who is it? Atlanta
and New England tonight, which is going to be a butt-slapping.
28-3, Falcons will be up.
Look at Belichick. We can talk about that another time. All right, let's get into
lower your paper so people can see your face.
No, I don't want people to see my face. I've had a rough week.
That was the point.
I've had a
sorry.
Home improvement over here.
Wilson.
I just keep looking over there.
That's hilarious.
I don't care. Hey, a couple of quotes today. I don't care. That's what my one buddy says about everything. I don't care. Mike McCarthy, here's his quote about the game this week. This is two excellent teams coming together. If I was a fan, this is a game I'd watch, especially with two exciting quarterbacks. Is that what it said? No, excellent. Two excellent quarterbacks. And one more quote. Mahomes on Dak, and I love this. Quote, first off, he's a tremendous leader. I think you can see that even when you're watching as a fan. I love that Mahomes went to that with Dak first because he gets it. They get it. Dak against Mahomes in this game. Could you imagine if we'd have talked about this before the season started for this game in Week 11, Dak against Mahomes, and it's big on big, and Dak's the favorite. No, forget the game. Forget Cowboys-Chiefs. Dak is kind of playing better. And the favorite, if you're going to talk about him and how he stacks up against Mahomes, right?
Are you talking about the favorite to win MVP?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But just in general, Dak is going to smoke Mahomes this weekend.
How is he? What do you mean? How is he?
The Chiefs are favored in this game.
Well, that's only because they're home. What is it, 2.5?
Yeah.
What are you saying, though? Favored?
I guess everybody's favorite is what I mean. Everybody's people are talking about how Dak is going to light Kansas City up, and Mahomes' team has no chance. I'm just kind of talking about the gap.
I just don't feel like people are talking that way. I think people think that it's going to be.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, not talking to anyone
I think
from
it's going to be a
Vegas.
very high-scoring game, and unless you're talking to idiots who really thought that
most
Patrick
of them are on
Mahomes
ESPN, so
fell
it's
off.
possible.
If you really thought Patrick Mahomes fell off because he had a series of bad games, I mean, then that's just on you that you don't know football.
You don't think there's anything real to that?
No.
That he's lost a little bit of his.
No, I think that they're asking
record?
him to do way too much. And I think that although I don't think it's fair to say, like people are saying when Dak was a rookie, that he's just like being held up by the people around him. He's clearly lifting everybody else up. I think what's amazing about what Dak's doing is that Mahomes has all of the athletic ability and more you could ever want in a quarterback. Dak has continued to grow in that, but what he's doing mentally with his game and the way he's reading offenses and anticipating and allowing it to work through the take aggressively what they give us, that's why he's playing at such a high level in addition to the physicality.
I think that, it reminds me a lot about Brett Favre with the way Mahomes is playing. He got away with a lot of stuff there. I mean, he's still doing it, but I think that he's trying to. He's probably realizing that, hey, people will intercept this no look pass here, or I can't just zing it all the way over the place. And like once he kind of gets his he's got weapons, but I think they're not as complete. I don't think they're a great running team and all that. Once he gets more weapons, I mean. When they get back, I think Edwards-Helaire will be back at some point. But I think that he's still the magician. I mean, he's still the guy.
But he has been criticized for about 5 weeks here.
Yeah, cool. Steph Curry gets...
And so have the Chiefs.
Steph Curry gets criticized all the time, too. And look at what he continues to do. And I'm using him as an example because he's a front runner to win MVP. And those two remind me so much of each other. Like, who cares what's on the outside? What they're doing is so ridiculous, and it's going to be going on for a long time. Like, there's people that probably thought Steph was falling off like maybe a year or two ago. His best ball is still being played. Patrick Mahomes is going to be doing what he's doing right now for another 10, 15 years plus.
Now, I want to reverse it on you. People criticize Steph Curry. I missed that.
Well, oh my God! When they lost in the finals to LeBron and they came back on 0-3, the fact that they had to get Kevin Durant to win those finals, that Steph couldn't do it on his own, you didn't hear any criticism like that. Everybody that was either LeBron or Steph had to take sides.
Losing KD was a big deal.
Cowboys part too. Go back to Emmitt Smith in 1994. When they didn't win the Super Bowl, they'd won 2 in a row, then they didn't win the third one, and Emmitt was kind of falling off and what was going on. He just comes back the next year and rushes for 25 touchdowns, which was a record. I'm just saying, that was his 4th or 5th year. When you're at the top, you're going to. I mean, shows like this are supposed to do that to people, to everyone. So, oh my God, Mahomes, the All-State Wonder Boy,
hold
lost
them to a high standard.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too.
But
when
he
you're
has
talking about
been in
Emmitt,
a bit of a funk.
When you're talking about Emmitt, like what are you coming down to? Like a show or two that were on the ESPN worldwide leader. Now you have to deal with every single former player that has a Twitter account, and it's like, oh, so and so said this about Patrick Mahomes. So and so said this. There's 4 or 5 different sports stations. Everybody's got their own podcast. Like there's so much more stuff coming at you, and it actually fascinates me about Patrick Mahomes that none of that seems to faze him at all.
All right, let me ask this question, and you brought it up just a second ago. Can Dak win the MVP award this Sunday? If it's a big enough performance, can he win it this Sunday?
No. Carson Wentz was balling at the beginning of 2016, I think it was, whatever, got hurt, didn't win. I mean, he did plenty early on in that season to be, right now, would be an MVP frontrunner. There's still so much season left to play. I still think MVP.
But it's not early in the season. It's week 11.
I still think there's so much room to play. I think it's whoever ends up getting the 1 seed in the NFC, whoever that quarterback is going to be the MVP of the NFL.
There's so much recency bias with that award. And so November and December, I mean, you got to be good and get better in November and December because it's all relative too.
Yeah, I always use my NASCAR reference on that. I don't think he can win it Sunday. I think he can lose it, though. And same with NASCAR. You can lose a race by hitting the wall in the 4th lap. You can't win it, but you can certainly lose it. I think if he doesn't play well in a game like this, he might be able to lose it, but he's going to need to have a great game and then keep stacking them up like they said.
All right. Well, let's say that the Cowboys do dominate Kansas City, and then the rest of it plays out to where they do win the bye. They are the number 1 seed.
Dak's got it
Looking
easy.
back, you're going to go, that game where he torched Mahomes,
his Heisman moment,
may have been, his MVP moment.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that, but I just feel like if you tell me he lays an egg here, they go on and win and get the number 1 seed in the NFC, he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, he's winning MVP of the league.
So I think to sum it up, what we're saying is that he can't win it this Sunday, but this game is important for his MVP resume.
But I mean, you still
maybe
think
the most important is what I'm trying to maybe.
Arizona will be up there because I think it could come down to him and Kyler at that time.
2 more questions I got to get your answer on. Chill was in here yesterday. He said Dak has better weapons than Mahomes. Does he?
Yeah.
He's got more. Does he have better?
Yeah, because I think he has more. Because I think because he has more weapons, he has better weapons. I mean, that's
Yeah, I think if you were going and we made a
well,
list right now of like
if you have a fastball that's not 100 miles an hour and this guy he's only got 97, but he's got 6 more pitches, then I think he's got better pitches, even though his number one thing is better. I think the tight end is better, the receiver is faster. He's got 2-3 good receivers. He's got a better running back, and he's got a better line. So I think his weapons are better.
Big.
Yeah. See, I would say if you were writing a list down of like you're taking both teams, their skill position players, and you're writing them in order of like who was the most valuable, 1 through we'll say 10. I think that Kansas City might have 2 of the top 3, maybe even the top 2, but out of those 8 to 10, the Cowboys would have like 7 out of the 10.
See, I'm going to say the same thing to you that I said to Chill. Name the 10 weapons. He said 10. Cowboys don't have 10
No,
weapons.
I'm saying if you're taking both teams together, if you're taking all their offensive weapons and you're ranking them off both teams.
But I think that we should consider the offensive lineman weapons. I mean, I'm not saying Connor Williams.
Yeah, you're saying Connor McGovern in the passing game.
Connor McGovern is like 4 weapons.
Right.
So that gets us.
That is such an interesting question because I would use a different analogy than the one.
Give me this pen and give me your paper.
I would do golf.
Exactly what he said.
No, I would do golf. If you've got the number 1 golfer in the world and the number 2 golfer in the world up against the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I'm taking the top 2.
In the Ryder Cup, in the Ryder Cup,
well,
if they have 2 good ones over there, but they've got 8,
all I'm saying is I would not say that team that has 7 through 12 has better weapons when that team's got 1 and 2.
Let's do it. Who's got the best weapon in this game? Who is the best offensive
Kansas
weapon?
City has the top 2.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill,
yes.
Number 1. Who's number 2?
I'm going to say
Travis Kelce.
He's better than anybody from the Cowboys.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. In terms
Are we including Dak?
Oh
no.
No.
Just weapons.
But hey, Nick.
And then I would go 5 straight Cowboys.
4 or 5 straight Cowboys right after that, though. At least it would probably go Zeke, CD,
you wouldn't do
Amari, Dalton Schultz, Michael Gallup. Like it probably would be like the next 6 or 7 guys.
I'm sorry.
Tony Pollard.
Right.
I don't think I would take Travis Kelce over CeeDee Lamb on the team. I
would right now. He's a Hall of Famer.
For this
CD,
season or like 5 seasons?
Well, what those 2 weapons do, they lead the league in yak.
Yeah.
Which is what makes them so dangerous offensively. And as whoever said it, it's about Kellen said it. Well, the yards are yards. And points are points. That is what Kellen said this week. That's true. These 2 weapons are so good, that's all he needs.
Well, and when you think about like what the Cowboys defense has continued to emphasize the last few weeks, it's been playing after the 2.3, so after the first 2.3 seconds following the snap. And when you have those yards after catch and all those tackles, like that could really challenge them.
I mean, let's not forget if people have their own opinion about Pro Football Focus grades and stuff like that, but the top 10 players in the league right now, 2 and 3, are Zach Martin and Tyrant Smith, graded out when they're playing. So I agree with you. Weapons, I mean, you ask a quarterback where he wants the weapons, he'll want them sitting right there in front of him,
including Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl this past year.
Yeah, he would like those. He would love
those 2 guys in front of him.
And
they probably win the game.
Which okay, you're both exactly right, and that means the Cowboys have a better offense. But the Chiefs, with their terrible line, Kelce and Tyreek still do what they do.
Yeah,
the offensive line make all the Cowboys' weapons work. Now, they're great, too. Amari, CD, Gallup, Schultz, who's kind of not been as productive here lately for reasons. But, all right, one final question, quick answer. We'll move on to the final segment here on Media Mash. Is there a chance, quick answer if you want, long answer, is there a chance Dak's a better player than Mahomes now? Is there any chance? He's a better
There's a small chance,
player.
but I still think Patrick Mahomes is a better player right now.
I agree with that.
I think Patrick has better ability, but there's a chance that Dak plays better this Sunday.
Is there a chance that Dak is a better leader than Mahomes?
Yeah, I think so. And it's not that Patrick Mahomes is a bad leader, but Dak is just such an elite, high-caliber leader, and I think Patrick Mahomes knows that, which is why he started off by saying, first off, he's a tremendous leader.
And I wish I was that good of a leader. See, I don't know if Mahomes...
No, Mahomes has really grown in his leadership. I've covered Kansas City a little bit for USA Today.
Where are we leading them to? I mean, we're leading them to where? I mean, I nothing against Dak, but I mean...
He's been in 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
Well...
Super Bowl MVP, league MVP.
What's wrong with? I mean, like you won an MVP, you won a Super Bowl MVP, you won the Super Bowl. I mean, what are we leading to? Like you led them to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. You're a good.
But it's because he's kind of old and experienced. No, really young.
What you want to do is see him win a Super Bowl, then we can have this discussion. Then you can compare.
Well, hey, hold on. Well, if we're going to be real,
right.
let's get into something right now. All right. So Mike McCarthy in his press conference on Monday there, when he was asked about Patrick Mahomes and where he ranks with like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, he was real quick to say, "Oh yeah, he's there." 2 questions later, asked about Dak Prescott being in that same elite category, he did not come with the same exact response. And I know Mike didn't want to say this, but it's really what you said. It comes down to the Super Bowl. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the separator. And at the end of the day, that's what it is.
And Russell Wilson always carries that with his game too.
Yeah, for sure.
No matter how bad he's playing, don't care.
Yeah.
Went to 2 Super Bowls, won one.
Did Eli carry it? Not really.
It depends on who you talk to.
One of them he did.
It depends on
I'm saying, did Eli always have that? He's been to 2. I mean, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, just like Roethlisberger will too.
And it always took people like me to try to argue to people how good he's been because he never seemed like it.
He just had a lot of bad seasons.
I've always argued for Eli.
That he was good?
Oh, yeah.
Except for when it came
he's
to
in top 8.
Cast.
Well, he's goofy, brother.
Yeah.
Well, the other brother, Cupper, he's goofy because I watched that college show that Peyton and Cupper
The
posted.
son's pretty good at football. You guys might want him over there in Columbus.
No, we got plenty of quarterbacks.
No, you probably pass those guys over for him. He's pretty special.
That's just going to type O. All right, coming up next here on Media Mash, we got Machota, we got Eatman, we got Epstein. A look at the race for the number 1 top seed in the NFC. Where are we with that? And think about this real quick, guys. Who for Dallas could be the MVP for this game? Who can make enough of an impact for the Cowboys to where when it's over you go, that guy is the reason they won? Next on Media Mash.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys? Jack Black. Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Back to Media Mash.
Time for an update here on Media Mash this Thursday, November 18th. God, November's not even a hard word to say. November 18th. We need to get an update here. Machota, Eatman, Epstein on the number 1 seed. The new playoff format, there's only one number 1 seed and 1 bye. So it's a much bigger deal. Now, if you are the number 2 seed, you'll get 2 home games, I think. I think that's the plan, right?
Unless you lose.
Well, yeah, unless you lose.
Oh.
I was just saying.
You've got a point.
You would not get 2 home games.
You would not get 2. You'd be gone.
It's double elimination if you're the number 2
Yeah,
seed.
that's right. But so being the number 2 seed could be a big deal too, because you get the 2 home games. But man, it is so different now. So the number 1 seed really does matter. They've got the new odds out. Here's where we sit. The Packers are 8-2. Arizona's 8-2. Dallas is 7-2. Tampa Bay 6-3. Rams 7-3. Green Bay 34% chance, according to Vegas. Don't mess with Vegas for the bye. Arizona 33% for the bye. Dallas 17%. Does Vegas have it wrong, Nick?
You're funny to me because like 10 minutes ago you were like, everyone's saying that the Chiefs are going to get blown out. Except for Vegas, who has them as favorite. But now you're like,
matters the most.
Don't mess with Vegas. Sorry.
I watched way too much daytime sports chat.
What was the question? What was the question again? Do they have it wrong?
Do they have it wrong? Does Vegas have it wrong, Nick?
The first, I don't even, who was
I think that they had it right, to be honest with you. I look at the rest of what Green Bay's got in their schedule.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Playing in the NFC North, I think Green Bay's in great shape. They still have the Rams, but that's up there in Lambeau. And then outside of that, I think their toughest road game is the Ravens. I think it's going to be tough to beat that. I think the Cowboys are right there. The Arizona one might be the one that's off because it all depends on Kyler. Like, when is he coming back? And if it is this week, like, how healthy is he? And then for them to get the 1 seed, I think you have to have a somewhat healthy DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, but they're still in the mix for sure. But it's tough for me to pick anybody over Green Bay.
I do think it helps that Green Bay and Arizona have their buys still coming.
Yeah.
I think that's nice for them. But you're right.
Green Bay's got a little bit of that Cowboys in them, too, where the Cowboys aren't the only team with some injured players on the way. Jair Alexander's still coming back. They have a couple other guys on defense.
Darius Smith.
Yeah, and so because of that, I think the Packers, I don't know, man, it's tough to pick against them.
Yeah. They've had some close, games where the teams that they haven't played that well, but they managed to win, and that's good that's a good sign for a lot of teams. But yeah,
who doesn't want to see the Cowboys go up to Lambeau in the playoffs?
McCarthy?
Yeah, we were talking about
every
this.
fan on the planet.
Oh, okay, yeah. I actually think Mike McCarthy wouldn't mind it.
He probably would like to, still have
He's
a
got
house
a street named right across the
I
street.
mean, they could do like team dinner at the barn.
Yeah, he would love it. I don't know.
If that happens, I would like to request on November 18th, an invite.
I tried to just say that, but I screwed it up. Sorry that
November 18th.
No,
invite.
November 18th.
You want to be
You
over
want
there?
an invite to what?
To the barn for the team dinner.
I think when everybody sits down, you should stand up and say, I have something to share. And when you do, share that Texas A&M story that you did.
I think I'm going to bring a bingo ball and.
Guys, sometimes you need to make a play, like a big interception. I did it one time.
Did you get up talking smack afterwards, or what happened after the?
I was just so stunned that I did something helpful for the team that was kind of the end.
Nick,
they were throwing at you.
I think it's
They
a great
threw it to
story.
me.
Nick, her and all the rest of the girls on defense all ran to the one end zone and posed for a
took
picture.
a picture. Yeah.
We called ourselves. I'm not even
So
going to go
did
there.
they give you a turnover chain afterwards? Like, did you get the chain?
Yeah, I have it upstairs.
Okay.
There's
Game ball.
actually like a big belt, like Jason Garrett.
All right,
style.
I think Vegas is wrong.
Really?
Oh, I think Tampa Bay is still.
Oh yeah, their schedule's pretty
Still the
weak.
favorite
Yeah.
to beat. Now Tampa Bay is in a storm right now. 2 awful games. One against an NFC East team.
Used to be an Arena League team called the Tampa Bay Storm, if I remember correctly. I think so.
Yeah. I used to do the play-by-play for their indoor soccer
First
team.
Desperado game in history, I think, was at the Tampa Bay Storm.
Will McClay was the coach.
One of the
Was he?
coaches.
Was he
Joe
the first head coach?
Joe
No,
Avizano.
Avizano.
Yeah. They really do have a pretty nice schedule there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And don't kid yourself.
They
They're
got
doing,
the Bills, but it's in Tampa.
They're doing the same thing they did last year. When
Yeah.
Gronk comes back, Brady's taking a little bit of a snooze. He's throwing interceptions. He's getting beat by, what's his name, the quarterback for Washington? Heineke.
Heineke.
I mean, come on, man.
Well, also you got to remember, as long as they make the playoffs, which they will, then it doesn't really matter what happened in the
He'll go on
regular
the road.
season because Brady just goes to another level.
He'll go on the road, and he's not worried about that.
Yeah,
Well,
like at Green Bay.
But
He's when he
see,
threw 3 picks.
I tried to make this point
Was that
yesterday.
last year?
It's about the teams that can game plan the other team and abuse them when it matters in the playoffs. And I kind of like what Dan Quinn's doing in that regard. I think he may be the piece that makes the difference when you get to that.
Which I will say, I know the scheme didn't work out and the coaching didn't work out, but when you get into that game planning for the playoffs, Mike Nolan really did believe in that. One of the most memorable quotes from him, we talked to him last year, is when he talked about, what was it, you can't go into a gunfight with a sword or a knife or something like that.
Yeah. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah. So
that's
what he was going for. It didn't work.
What if the other one has a bunch of other weapons? You know,
like a bazooka?
Like the 7th, 8th, 9th.
I mean, you got the bazooka, and then we've got just 27 pocket knives.
Right.
I mean, is that gonna
put them up? See, that's what Brady is. He's the bazooka.
No, he specifically, that's what Mike Nolan said. He said specifically Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. That when you go against them, if you don't have any scheme and you're just playing a basic defense like they were playing last year, you have no chance against those guys.
And by the way, speaking of Green Bay, they may have a weapon that in this Dillon kid. Now, they're going to look at him with Aaron Jones out for a minute here. This guy's going to be a monster. I mean, he's like 250 and runs a 4.4. I mean,
you really, if you're the rest of the NFC, you don't want to see them with home field throughout. I don't care who you are.
They could be. I think Murray and Dak, and Stafford, when the chips are down, is where all the eyes are going to be. Yep. And that'll be fun.
One playoff win between those three.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford.
That matters when you get to the playoffs. Dak's won one. Those other two haven't won a playoff game, and I think that matters, especially if they're not playing at home. And one of them won't be Murray and Stafford because they're on the road. I mean, because they're in the same division.
I think it's going to be a totally different NFC when Brady finally decides at 73 to quit and Rodgers is gone, and it's about Dak and Murray and whoever else you want to name.
Justin Fields.
Jameis Winston.
I was trying to throw an Ohio State guy for you.
Justin's a good player
Brady
now.
Quits. When Brady quits, Dak will be old.
Yeah, probably. I'm not going to doubt he can't play to 50. He says he can.
Still playing well.
All right, this is going to be fun here. All right, here's the game Sunday. The whole world's watching. It's a big one. 3:25 at Arrowhead. I love Arrowhead. I used to cover the Chiefs up there. That place will go nuts on you. And the Cowboys have to face that. If there's a guy. Now, I'll throw some choices out. You know the choices.
We know the choices.
Yeah, I don't have to throw them out. If there's a guy, now it doesn't have to be obvious. It doesn't have to be monumental. If there's a guy that has a matchup or can make a difference in this part of the game that can make the biggest difference, and he's your MVP. Machota, who you got for the Cowboys?
I'd go with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, this could turn into a game where they end up running the ball really well. And they're not going to go away from the run if they're running it well, because that's running the clock and it's keeping Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. So if they're having success there, Tyrant's back, the offensive line is playing well as a group, and Zeke's getting 5 yards a carry, you're not going to have to force throw passes to anybody. You're going to be like, well, we're going to keep doing this until you can stop it. And so while I think this will be a Dak versus Patrick Mahomes showdown that everybody wants to see, it wouldn't surprise me if Ezekiel Elliott steals the show.
Schultz. That's my guy.
Go.
Really?
I think in this game.
What was that, Jory?
Dalton Schultz. I think he's a guy that you've got to stop these other players. You got to figure this out, and he hasn't had a great last few weeks numbers wise. I just have this feeling NFL's weird. We always talk about NFL's a strange lady. I mean, couldn't you just see Dalton Schultz having more catches or yards than Travis Kelce in this game? Just the way it went out.
I can't.
You can't?
It's possible. Go on. I'm sorry. I
mean, I just feel like he's always the pick your poison guy, and then they don't pick him. And I think that this is a type of game where you look up and he could have 8 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown.
Right before Michael Gallup got back, I completely agree with you. I just think there's so much. Now we have Gallup and Cedric Wilson.
It's even more the reason.
Okay.
He's still going to play. Like, They're not taking him off the field because
not the sexiest pick in the world. But
no, I like it.
But a solid one.
Well, coming from me, I mean, what? That's what I should do. That's the pick I should make. Then.
Jory?
Okay, well, I'll live in the reality that Nick is living in and say that Dalton Schultz is not only having a great game, but he's having one because Jaron Kearse is matching up so well with Travis Kelce. And I also think on that note that Mahomes is going, as John said, with Zeke going off and Schultz making the catches and Patrick Mahomes feeling the pressure that he has to do something, we're going to have an interception for Mr. Kearse.
Oh, you're calling a pick from Curse. See, I thought Diggs might have been a good. I mean, Mahomes
I was thinking
has
him.
11 interceptions
Yes,
or
the
10.
interception was the way to
He'll
go.
throw some YOLO balls. I mean, he will chuck it up there.
They've got 20 turnovers. They lead the league.
I love those memes of, I know. It'll be like him facing the other direction, like, Tyreek's down there somewhere, and he just throws it up. So, no, that's a good one, though.
How about Hey 19? Last time the Cowboys played in there, number 19.
Miles.
He won. He earned $50 million that night. 250 yards.
Got experience in the building.
Amari's got experience. You should have said Amari. You're the Amari whisperer.
I just looked up his stats there.
She was balancing out the show. We went offense. She named somebody that wears a green dot on their helmet. There you go. Defensive leader.
His best game is a 5 for 29 yards. He had a 0 catch game, and he had like a 2 for 10 or something. He hasn't played well there, but he's played there.
Who is the Honey Badger going to deal with? Because I'll say this.
But his Minnesota, what was his Minnesota stats previously? He probably bested them.
Kansas City's corners are awful. 4 of them.
But I really like
just
Charvarius Ward.
Yeah, but his
numbers. Let me add this in here real quick because I think that it's a little bit surprising that none of us mentioned Micah Parsons.
It's the first one I wrote down.
Which is fine, but let me just throw out there.
Because he was so obvious.
Well, because Mahomes in space, that's what they got to worry about.
But I just wanted to add this in there because of the fact of just what we've seen in practice the last 2 days. Like, this is the first time in these 2 practices, and maybe it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
These are the first 2 practices since early in the season where he hasn't been practicing with the linebackers. And I'm just kind of like, you're going to put him on the line? And hey, I don't know anything compared to Dan Quinn, obviously, but I would think you'd want him at linebacker as opposed to on the defensive line just because Patrick Mahomes can extend plays. But I don't know. Just put that in the back of your mind there.
Wouldn't it be awesome? Because all this talk about the 2.3 and when Mahomes gets out of the pocket, that's when they're the most dangerous and they're practicing it. Wouldn't it be just awesome if Mahomes is doing his trickery, spinning, and Micah is just clobbering him.
Yeah.
Coming out of nowhere. Whoa!
Even with Micah's amazing speed, though, Mahomes is going to be tough for him to get.
Yeah. You're going to need, if Micah's playing DN, you're still going to need a lot. You're going to need Dorrance to play as well as he did last week. And maybe he does. Kansas guy. Maybe he puts together back-to-back games, but you're going to need more than just Micah rushing off the edge.
Okay, see, I don't think on a week like this when you got to really pull all your stops, is it wishful thinking or possible that this is Connor McGovern's big man touchdown week?
He gets his hands on the football. You know what? All 3 wide receivers are going to be in front of him on a play. No, maybe not. That'd be Gadget City.
I'm for it.
We're not turning into Gadget
That would be Gadget City. You know, CD was awfully good out of the slot last week. I think they beat Kansas City outside. So it's going to be Amari and Gallup. I think CD's going to have a little tougher time if he's in the slot this week again. These corners on the outside, if they're going to play man-to-man, which they like to do, Spagnuolo plays it above 50%. If they're going to try that, I think
that bodes well for Amari.
I do too. And by the way, I like what you're saying because they're going to try to run right down their throat at the beginning. Dak's going to come out there and see what they're in, and they're going to try to just run it. And if they can, they're going to keep doing it. If they can't, and it's man-to-man on the edge, Amari and Gallup are going to go nuts. And maybe they'll move CD out there some. But a lot of choices. Let's get a word because we got to go. It's Thursday, a little early for your predictions. None of you have printed predictions yet, have you?
I think we did.
I like to wait.
I'm trying to
You made that sound so painful. Oh, yeah, we did.
Predictions are like the bane of my existence.
I always liked them.
I didn't get in this business to predict. I just want to tell people stories, you know?
Okay. All right.
No, Steve doesn't know that, and neither do I, Nick. I just want to make predictions and run my mouth.
Yeah, well, that's always been my
And then I
story.
just hope no one reads them on USA Today, and then I'll hear from sources about, but you picked so-and-so. I'm like, can you not look at that?
Yeah.
I ended up picking on our podcast the Chiefs. I think it was 34-31.
You picked the Chiefs?
Yeah. Yeah, I just think them at home, the way that they're rolling kind of right now, I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win, but I think they got a lot going in their favor. And not that the Cowboys don't want this game, but I don't know. I got a feeling that the Chiefs are going to want this a little bit more. I think they end up pulling it out in the end.
I don't hate that. Nick?
Yeah, I've kind of gone back and forth on this one, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys 37-27.
Oh.
But then I think they're just better. I think they're a better football team right now. And We'll see, though. I mean, I could see all scenarios in this one, but I just have this feeling that as long as I keep saying this, as long as the weather's not crazy, it's not windy, swirling.
They practiced
if they can go throw the football and play pitch and catch up and down the field, I think they'll outscore them.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys 31-30. I don't think it'll be as much of a blowout as Nick is predicting, but I do think they can.
10. There's a 3-point game, and then Diggs gets a pick and runs it back, and they win by.
Has
10.
anybody checked the weather in Kansas?
Yeah, 55,
like
sunny.
It's nice. It's
oh yeah.
Wow.
But I also think
not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, I also just think that if they win, I know McCarthy said we didn't need Denver. I think they needed Denver. I think that I will be giving partial credit to the Denver loss if they win this game because they needed that reminder.
All right, well, I'm going to go reverse on that. There's no doubt in my mind that the Cowboys make a statement in this game, a major statement. And then 4 days later, they pull another Denver and lose to the Raiders on Thanksgiving.
They lose a lot on Thanksgiving.
Kansas City has a bye after this game. So whatever happens, they got a week off. Cowboys got to turn around in 4 days and play a good Raiders team who just got smoked by Kansas City. Now, the Raiders only have 4 days too. But I can see the Cowboys making a monumental statement in this game to where the whole world is going, that's it. The Cowboys are it. And then Thanksgiving in front of the whole world, Raiders smoke.
And then it won't be monumental. It'll just be like, oh, you were frauds.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, hey, Chris Beam, thanks, man. On that side of the wall, the rookie, here all day with every podcast. Thanks for letting me chat a little Cowboys with you guys. John Machota from The Athletic, Nick Eatman, All Cowboys Productions, and Jory Epstein, who hates doing predictions. Are you okay that you had to do one?
I'm going to be all right.
Okay. All right. We won't make you do that again. How about that?
I'll already have to do it for USA Today. So
if your companies need to borrow any money because of the cost of the flight to get up to watch this game, let Nick or Jerry know. Okay.
Right.
All right.
We're included in that mix. I can promise you that.
You guys have fun. Cowboys Nation, enjoy the big game on Sunday. We'll talk about it next week, which is Thanksgiving week. Bye.
Bye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?